Hey, two people of family. So, um, this season, the end of the summer season into the fall, has brought the era of three long-awaited sequels, and we've seen all three of them, and I want to talk about them. Now, first off is Zombieland Double Tap. Now, it's been 10 years since we have seen these guys, and they're all back. Woody Harrelson, Abigail Breslin, Emma Stone, and Jesse Eisenberg. And so we catch up to them 10 years. They've kept the timeline, and they actually make fun of it and everything. And they didn't miss a beat. It was just as funny as the original Zombieland. And of course, the zombies have evolved, and so they're faster and more organized, and which is kind of breaking away from the zombie thing, in my opinion. But it's just the group works so good together, and their comedy is so funny. The world has gone to hell as far as the apocalypse, and they make it to Washington and actually get to the White House, and they spend the night there and just totally wreck the place and just have a good old time. And eventually they have to go to I forgot the name of the place that they had to go to. It's like a safe zone, and Abigail Breslin's character falls in love there, and she almost leaves them, and of course then they have to work together to save the day, because the zombies come and take over, or threaten to take over. And of course, whether they do or not is, you have to check that out to know, because it's kind of iffy. I was actually wondering if they were going to make it. Then next is huge. It's Terminator Dark Fate, and Linda Hamilton came back, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course, came back, and James Cameron came back for the first time since T2. There was a lot riding on this. There is still a lot riding on this this direct sequel to T2. They're getting rid of Salvation and Genesis storylines because people hated those. And Joey and I kind of had mixed ideas about it because it picks up a little bit after T2 and then there's another jump from there. And we kind of got the feeling of it being a female-centric T2, which isn't a bad thing in itself. It was really cool to see because there was a female Terminator and there was and the heroine is a female. She takes up for John, and which you'll see what happens with him. And Arnold's T-800 is kind of he's there and he kind of gives a little bit more depth to just it being a T2 female carbon copy. The new Terminator is it's called Rev 9, and it's a combination of Arnold's T-800 and T2's T-1000. So essentially what it can do is it can split from itself and become two different Terminators and attack from two different angles, which is really cool. So that gave it a push the technology instead of it just being a rehash of stuff, of old stuff. Sorry about that, I'm trying to get the glare. Of course, Linda Hamilton's back, and guys, she thought she was a badass in T2, and she's, 20 odd years later, and she's a badass. I mean, she had to work her butt off for this role, you can tell, and she brought it. I'll have to give her kudos for that. And I think they let Arnold age, and I like that. I like that they're letting their older actors age, with Sylvester Stallone in the Creed movies and Rambo and Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator Dark Fate. I think that's a good move, and it's just good storytelling to me, from my perspective. And the third movie that I want to talk about is the sequel you didn't think you needed to have, and that is Doctor Sleep. It's the sequel to The Shining, and it has Ewan McGregor taking up the role of Danny Torrance, and now he is Dan Torrance, and he's a carbon copy of his dad as far as being an alcoholic and being essentially broken. But he tries to fight. He's fighting it. Tries to fight, but he just somewhere or another it messes up until Abra gets into his head. Abra is a child who shines more than anybody ever, and she's being hunted by a cult that feeds off of kids that shine, and they're sadistic. They will kill and essentially snort the shine right out of a kid, and they show it. It's not pretty, and it's sad because these kids don't know that they shine, and they get lured there, and it's just brutal. But so Dan has to go and essentially protect Abra, and it's about redemption. Which I read the book back when it came out, back I guess 8 years ago or so, and so I don't remember, but I know that they changed the end up to be closer to the end of the novel of The Shining, whereas Kubrick totally changed the ending of his version of The Shining, and so we get to see, like I said, the movie is about redemption, and I'm not going to tell you whether Dan makes it or not, but I liked it. I thought that the recreations that for the scenes that they did of his memories, and how he was taught to compartmentalize his shining, and to trap the spirits that had been plaguing him for the last 30 years or so, was pretty genius, I have to say. But all in all, I liked all three movies, and they were worth it. I heard that they're planning on doing another Zombieland in another 10 years, and I don't know if they're gonna all be back for that. Let's see if they all make it. And I don't. I know James Cameron wanted to do another trilogy of the Terminator movies, starting with Dark Fate, and I read that it's not getting it, that the audience likes it, or the critics liked it, and audiences have been slow to pick it up. So I don't know if that's gonna pan out for them. And Thomas Flanagan, who did Doctor Sleep, whereas Stephen King did not like Shining, he liked what Flanagan did with Dr. Sleep, and he wants to do more with him. So it'll be interesting to see. I was reading today that it didn't do so as good as they were expecting it to do for its opening week, but at the same time, they did mention that Shining didn't do great when it first came out either. It had to get word of mouth. So, fingers crossed for that one, because I liked it, and I like Stephen King, the adaptations for the most part. So, anyways, guys, check these movies out, and hopefully you'll enjoy them. I mean, if anything, it's good escapism. And, of course, be good to each other. Love you. Check you later.